Don't feel like I belong, babe. Yeah. But a little bit of weed and practice will go a long way. I keep it going. Don't feel like I belong, babe. Yeah. But a little bit of weed and practice will go a long way. I keep it going. Don't feel like I belong, babe. Yeah. But a little bit of weed and practice will go a long way. I keep it going. Don't feel like I belong, babe. Yeah. But a little bit of weed and practice will go a long way. I keep it going. Don't feel like I belong, babe. Yeah. But a little bit of weed and practice will go a long way. I keep it going. Yeah. Whoa. Like I belong, babe. Don't feel I belong. But a little bit of weed practice will go a long way. A little bit of weed practice. Tell me what the fuck my act is. Tell me what the fuck my act is. See my head is splitting into fractals. In the fractals, can't divide. What am I? Tell a word, always a lie. Yeah, got 'em going, know they really coming in my fucking routine. Yeah, not a lot of people checking in, no wonder on your wing. About to go stupid, gotta fly in the middle of the sky. Then, oh, I gotta feel that. Looking for my own piece of lightning. We the lighted back in it. Yeah, everybody here coming, they checking me out and again. They coming live any fucking spot when I'm talking. Yeah. Come on, get 'em ready for the hard day.
Right. All right. Oh, let's do this. We're gonna paint some stuff or sketch some stuff or all of that. I don't know. We got stuff to do. We got stuff to figure out. That's all I can say. Namely, because I'm not totally sold on her pose. I'd played with some other poses that I may have dismissed a little too quickly. So let's explore, shall we? We shall. We shall. I need to see roughly. It doesn't really matter how I can always scale up and down, but you know, who likes to? You know what we should do? You know what we should do? Because I don't like drawing on straight up white, so we're not gonna do that. Let's let's get rid of that white.
Nice little first track. Hey, Honeycomb, welcome. Honeycomb.
Yeah.
Honeycomb, do you know
By the way, if you guys don't know Ari at home, I've been kind of obsessed with his stream because he's a badass. His buddy cuts up all his tracks from his streams because it's all improv, so he doesn't have them like produced anywhere. Cuts them up and puts them on SoundCloud. Unfortunately, he also gets a bunch of the interludes in there, which is great if you're watching the VODs. Not so great if you just want to listen to the music. So you'll just have to make do with hearing Ari speaking in the background sometimes. Shadow Walk, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm just knocking back the white as something to draw on top of, right? And because I don't like drawing on stark white. That's no fun. Where'd my stream go? There we are. Yeah, I'm just looking at this on stream and it's super desaturated. I don't know why. I don't like that. Ugh. One of these days I'll need to see if I can adjust that, and well, maybe we can. Let's see if we can. Should we see if we can adjust this? I have no idea. Oops, not that. Not properties. Probably filters, I guess. Yeah. But it's not just saturation. Yeah, so I think at least for a few weeks we're gonna be doing a Tuesday night stream. I'm gonna try and basically do a Tuesday night and Wednesday and a Saturday afternoon, I think. There we go. We're gonna nail this color, by the way. None of this, no more of this like, hey, it doesn't look on stream like what I'm seeing on my screen. So we're gonna fine tune this shit. It's starting to look pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see. Let's see what we've really got here. See if we can get this looking. That looks pretty spot on. Pretty spot on. Maybe that's a little too. Need a little more red. That looks pretty good. Sweet. Sweet. Spooky season streams, yeah. Sweet, there we go. Got our color matching. That's what I like to see. All right. We're back. Wow. I don't know why I didn't do that ages ago, and instead was like, sorry, it doesn't look like, you'll just have to wait till I post it up somewhere and whatever. Yeah, spooky season. So I almost did a Picardo stream because I didn't feel like, I maybe didn't feel like dealing with censoring stuff on Twitch, you know, the little Twitch pasties. But I don't know. It's fun to be able to raid right afterward, and Picardo doesn't have the raid system yet. Not to mention there isn't anyone I would raid on Picardo, and so All right. All right. All right. We're gonna turn the music. There. Joey the Saint, hello, my friend. How you doing? Joey, were you able to get your drawing? Did it arrive safely in one piece? I hope it did. They're kind of, I'm, not gonna lie. Sometimes when I'm debating if I want to do Twitch or something else, a couple of times the Twitch pasties have been a deciding factor. I'm like, nah, I kind of like, kind of like sticking it to them a little bit. All right, there we go. Awesome, Joey. I'm very happy to hear that. Very happy to hear that. I gave you a thumbs up and I realized you can't see my hand. All right. So I'm not, for anyone wondering, I'm not totally sold on this pose, right? This isn't where the pose started. There are a few things compositionally I'm not totally sold on, by the way. So one of the, they're like, one, I'm not totally vibing with those smoke plumes there. Okay. There's some fine tuning this composition needs, no matter what. Which is why originally I thought, oh, maybe I'll do a. It's weird. Why did it not? Sorry, this was. It seemed like it was acting weird for a minute. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was gonna maybe do like an oil study, right? Because I'm gonna have to do a study of the main figure before I jump into this, because I have questions. I have questions. Oh really? Is there a crazy lag? I also wonder if I have. I don't think I have a delay set up, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm looking on mine too. It's pretty quick, so. Wow, why is there so much lag for you? Shadowwalk, I'm looking at mine and like Joey's saying, it's probably like a couple of seconds, 3 seconds tops. Crazy. All right, so that already feels better to me, which is funny because I remember I added those because I was like, it needs something more. And I still think it does, because otherwise it becomes so much of a cutout shape. But I don't know what that's gonna be yet. It might be another layer of these souls, like kicked way back or something, right? Something like back here somewhere. Just because while it's not 50-50 right now, it is too even for my taste. So I might get something else back here. Okay. We'll see. But also her pose, right? I'm not at all sold on what this arm is doing. I adjusted the wet mix on this is a slightly different brush, and man, it's really like pushing that shit around. I didn't really expect it to do that much. I like it. It's gonna take some getting used to. Anyway, let's do it without the wet mix for now. Do they not have as good an internet on the East Coast? Or is it like storming out there and it's like fucking everything up? All right. Let's see here. So quick and dirty stuff here. Obviously, I'm not trying to do amazing shit yet. I'll let you know when I'm trying to do amazing shit. One of the things I originally was trying to do yeah, fucking USPS. I don't understand. I don't know why that was. I've never encountered that in, like, with shipping to any of the other countries that I have shipped to. And I've shipped to several. So I don't know why it was like, once it like got to Norway or something, it's like, no shipping information. We can't track this. It's like, cool. All right, so the original inspiration for this was twofold, actually. There's the piece that I did for Codex Obscura, which is not launched yet on Kickstarter, but I think it will soon. Pretty soon, I think. Another book that Spiridon put together. It's all based around witches and witch lore and stuff. And so I did a piece for that I like quite a bit, and so I'm taking some inspiration from that. But then as I was kind of playing with some poses and stuff, I also kind of thought of this piece called Medicine from Gustav Klimt, a piece that I believe was actually lost at the tail end of World War II. What sucks is they had moved it to protect it, and then as the Nazis were retreating in like 1945 or something, they just decided to destroy shit as they retreated, and they bombed the building that Medicine was in. So the only thing that has survived are some old photographs and then some comps, some early comps for it that Klimt had done. Which I have to say, one of those early comps is fucking awesome. let's see if we can. If I can remember where the hell I put it. First place that's probably good to look at is my Gustav Klimt folder. Yay! Yay! That's where it is. All right, so let's do. I'm just gonna throw it in the art inspo on Discord. And this is the comp. And let's just do comp for Medicine by Gustav Klimt. All right. Here you guys go. So that's kind of one of the things, although it wasn't the pose that I was thinking of, was actually the one from the original, which I have an image of. I think this is like a shitty colored image. Let's see if we can Medicine Gustav Klimt, because the original photo is not color, obviously not from back in the 40s, right? So let's see if we can get a good. It's pretty decent. All right, one more. So the actual pose that I was then thinking of, which is kind of where the snake idea came from, is this. Oh, where's my keyboard? I gotta put my keyboard somewhere where I can see it. Hello, camera. Hello, there we are. So that was the actual pose that I was kind of thinking of, which is more what I have here. And and I liked the snake and stuff, and like I was adding that, and then I thought of Medicine. I was like, oh, I could do something like that, do where it's somewhere between like inspired by my own piece and inspired by Klimt's piece. But I'm not, I don't know. I'm not totally sold on something like that. I don't hate the idea, but I'm also not opposed to something more symmetrical. I mean, which is what I had, right, originally. It is pretty symmetrical, but maybe I might not do the snake. I'm not married to the snake at all. And I feel like, the glowy parts, for lack of a better term, are going to be gold leaf, right? Like a moon gold leaf. So that's kind of what I was originally thinking with that snake. But I'm not totally sold on that. So she could have something else entirely in her other hand, which could be kind of cool. I'm not mad at that idea. I just don't know what it would be, I'm always a big fan of like some kind of weird, incense kind of holder. Something Like, I think that could be fun. Which would maybe give... should be kind of a cool thing to maybe get some smoke going on too, but I don't know. I wouldn't want the smoke passing in front of her because of the gold leaf. I don't think. Clint Vase, which I bought for the silver, so fucking with my cousin's wife, she was always kind of looking down her nose at me, so I saw the vase. And she was a huge Klimt fan. I bought it and placed it in the hallway. Next time they visited me, she burst it out. Is that a goose? Oh, that's awesome. I like. I'm just wondering if I want to get some kind of like, because I don't hate the idea of us putting something in front, right? I think that could be kind of cool. Just get some layers and depth in here. I think that could be pretty rad. Again, anyone, if you guys don't follow Ari at Home, he is a music streamer here on Twitch. He kind of blows my mind because everything he does is improv. From the beats to the loops to the lyrics, every single thing he does is improv. And he just brings it every damn stream. Every time I'm super impressed. And I don't know. That kid's got some kind of genius. He's a badass. So that's who we're listening to right now. If you guys, that's not the right. Check out Ari at Home. Well, I like that, Joey. Like, I'm snooty about shit, but not toward other people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect them to feel the same way that I do about everything, right? Now, you know, if I was over at someone's place and they were like, hey, do you want some, you know, Maker's Mark neat? I would be like, no. Can't do it. Can't. I used to love that shit too, and I just can't. Like, if it's in a drink now, I know instantly, and I can't do it anymore. I don't know why. I never got sick on Maker's Mark. But there's something about it that just doesn't taste good to me anymore at all. So I do kind of like that. I feel like if I'm going to do something like this, then I would have to, I'd want. I need to make sure these angles are broken up, right? So that's why I'm wondering about, like, what's in the background. The only reason I had those plumes of smoke there before, right? Which kind of gave us that. But I also feel like it sort of stopped some of the motion and made it a little more still with the more vertical kind of solve. So I don't know if I want something like that or not. I might not. I don't love that. Compositions, man. Compositions. Yeah, I do love me some scotch. We're drinking Allagash Curio tonight. Sipping Allagash Curio. Sipping it. Because it is like 10%. So, it's like you chug that and you're going to be tipsy. Compositions, man. I don't know, because I don't like the idea of that. That worked better before I had the smoke down the bottom. So we might have to go with something that is a bit more along those lines. Maybe. I think. We'll see. We shall see. Whoop. Go. Give me my colors. Compositionally, though, this stuff, I need to figure it out, but it's not. I really, really want to figure out her gesture as well. And the thing is, like, I still like the light around her head. So if I put something like that in there, I'll have to just kind of cheat it and say whatever. I'm gonna put some light and heat around her head because compositionally I like the framing. And I'm sure I can find some kind of weird justification for it. Somewhere. Right, we can sneak some of it kind of peeking through, like maybe it's not a sky thing, maybe it's actually coming from them. I don't know. I don't want to make it too complex, but Welcome, Oblivious Ode. Shadow Walk compositions are like, it can be a lot of back and forth, right? Like, it's not always super cut and dry, and the problem is it's a very kind of ambiguous concept. It's so much just based on what feels right. and there are no hard and fast rules for it at all. Like, no matter what anyone says, there are no hard and fast rules in composition. There are some general guidelines of like, okay, generally you don't want to split everything up 50-50, you know? But obviously there's going to be times where you could totally design a composition around that, right? Like, so, you know, and that just kind of makes it tricky. But I also need to kind of consider that her pose might change the composition a bit as well. So, with that in mind, let's kind of keep an eye on her there. And maybe consider some other poses. No, Joey the Saint, go ahead. Feel free. Make observations. It's like one thing I was considering doing is actually having... So my original drawing that I was kind of taking inspiration from, she's actually raising both hands like this, you know, which I just didn't want to do the same pose. And I'm wondering if I can do something maybe offset, right? And do I want her moving? Do I want her standing still, or do I want her possibly stepping forward or something? I don't know. So many possibilities. It almost looks like she's standing in the middle of a twister that's about to start. So she looks like she's more in the eye of the storm. Soul planes rising up behind her. Could maybe do your magic and imply twisting. Yeah. No, I don't hate that idea, right? I mean, I am kind of calling this one Soul Storm, right? Which is like a companion piece, I guess, to Dragon Storm. So I don't hate that idea. I think I still like this hand the way it is. Using that skull there. I just don't know about this arm. Man, who would have thought one little thing would cause so many problems? Who would have thunk it? I mean, I also still don't hate the idea of having her arm crossing over her chest. Right. I don't hate that. And then I wonder if I would want to get her robes or whatever they are.
Sunday night, Olive-ish. Oh, 5 days. Okay.
This is like the scribbly, messy part of the process when I'm just like trying to figure shit out. That's the benefit of digital, right? Is we can always just clean it up afterward. We don't need it to be super clean yet. I just gotta see what feels. I don't hate that. I don't hate it. And obviously, to a degree, it's arbitrary. It's kind of like whatever just feels good to me. But and if we did get our
Ooh, I like that.
shit, I wonder if we'd want to go the other way then. Maybe, right? That was weird. My phone notified me of my own post on Discord. Thanks, I guess. So I wonder if we'd want this to go the other way, right? It would be more like that.
This one's nice too.
That could work. That could work. Could do something like that. Man, I am a sucker for that kind of like iconic composition on the pose though, but shit. The other tricky part with this is I'm working on planning like a remote photo shoot. Right, because the model doesn't live in the area, but she has a photographer friend. That can shoot the pictures with her. So part of me wants to wait and see what I get from that. But I'm not sure. Don't tempt me, Joey. I'm like, oh, I could make them a diptych and just like change the character up slightly and then Oh man. Because I do like the kind of incense thing, and the fun thing is if I got that in there, then I could also have the smoke from there swirling in, which would be pretty cool. Like lighter smoke, you know, amidst like the really dark, swirly stuff. I think we might. We'll save this, but we'll go for something like that, I think. So. No. What are you doing? Oh. I'll probably want to get a little more motion in it though if I actually want it like really swirling around, but you know, for now. Don't need all these layers separate. Smudge tool, our trusty smudge tool will give us a little more motion. Maybe. Alright, so then with this, I don't know if I really need the, what color do I want here? I don't know if I need that stuff. Because, you know, so that's one of the things with composition. One of the other things with composition is that it's not just the, you know, at its core, it's the basic shapes, right? It's the kind of the primitives, if you will. Circles, squares, triangles. But the motion of the movement can affect the composition too. So that's where I have to kind of keep that in mind.
Is that Hachi I see in this chat? Hachi, are you here? Or was it just a dream?
Yeah. All right. Whatever. This kind of stuff is fun because it sort of just starts from abstract, right? These souls and things are just going to start out kind of with these abstract shapes, and I'll slowly start to pull things out where I start to see forms and things like that. So that can be kind of fun to play with. I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. I want to kind of get her figured out, right? The anatomy and stuff needs some help. And I tend to like to give myself more information on the digital comp, I guess, the digital study, just because I know I'm going to edit when I take it to oils, right? It's not going to... It just works better when I can edit things out in oils rather than working on something that is highly, highly edited already. Even though, yes, it will be edited, it's not going to look like a photo or anything like that. The digital painting won't, but I can at least give myself some enough detail to maybe edit stuff out. Although I think I've kind of found that when I'm doing this stuff based on my own digital paintings in oils, I tend to not worry about sticking one-to-one and use the digital more as kind of a springboard for something, because the paint just works different, and the paint kind of like maybe will bring up some other ideas for me as I'm working, and I don't feel the need to like really, really stick to what I did digitally one for one. But the I don't want a water delivery. All right. The digital helps a lot, though, I will say, because then I don't have to sit there and try and figure out the color, right? Which I don't like to do that in the oils, because you can overpaint it. Not that I'm going crazy complex with this color, but I'm also I love the kind of reddish in the background, but it reminds me too much of this other artist who is a contemporary current working artist, and it's like there are too many little two things that are lining up a little too much with what he does. One of which I don't mind, which is the eyes, because the eyes for me came more from how I tend to draw animal eyes or eyes in the dark catching light, right? Yep. Take me to where are our moody tails? Our moody tails. I thought I did it in another piece too. Anyway, we did it here, right? Our our axe murderer in the background. I like doing the eyes catching the light in the dark. That shit's fun. Yeah, none of that here. But yeah. Totoro! Yay! I know I did that in another piece, but I don't know if I have it here on my iPad. Anyway, what was I just? Oh yeah. Oh yes. It's like, what was I just painting on? Yo, Matty Creates, how you doing? How's it going? So as I was saying, the eyes, whatever. It's cool. He'll do these like points of light for eyes. I don't mind that, but he also tends to do a lot of grayscale stuff. And then he'll do this like red kind of, it's more saturated than what I have and more toward red, right? What I have is actually like more toward orange, but still there's something, makes me think of his stuff a little too much, and I don't know if I want to do that. If you guys don't know let me see if I can find him. I'm blanking on his actual name. Joao Ruas. Here, right there on his website. Right there, you can see what I'm talking about. I don't know if I want to put that red back there. His stuff is so badass, though. Man, that guy, whew, so good. But that Night Hunters, number 2, first piece on his website, right? There's just something. I know the gold leaf, because the eyes here would be gold leaf and stuff, and the bit down the center of her would be gold leaf, and that would throw it into a different world. I just don't know if I want to do the red. He's such a badass, though, I have to say. I love his work. If you guys want to... Yeah, the texture adds a lot. And by the way, if you guys, and a random plug for no reason, but if you guys want to follow him on Instagram, he goes by Feral Kid. Badass. Badass. I know the color palette is still different, but I don't know. But also, there will be some texture over the top. That would be more like I probably have some kind of, let's see here. Like where I'd probably do some like drip kind of stuff on here, I think. And then I'd like wipe some of it back out, and but this is one where I want to kind of get some layers happening. It just, you got to be careful with that, because you can ruin the flow, the motion that you create from that initial painting really quickly. As soon as you start kind of like covering stuff up and sort of bringing things back in, you can kind of stop a lot of the motion pretty fast. But still, I think it could be, I don't know, it could be cool. And it wouldn't have to be drips like this either, right? It could just be the drips that would sort of stop some of the motion. I mean, I could do something, I don't know if You know, just like put some pools and some stuff and let it dry and you know do who knows what, right? I don't know. There's a lot that we could do. Could be pretty rad. But this is also where it can be useful to mess around with some of this stuff digitally to see like, okay, does it totally stop the motion that I'm trying to create? You know, is there a way to make it work knowing that yes, it would be very organic and no, I could not completely recreate the shapes. But at the same time, I can do something like this and then I can paint a bit on top of it too to sort of maybe bring back some of the motion. I don't know. Just making this shit up as I go.
Oh, you guys know. Wait. Frank, you weren't scared of that one stream where I went outside?
Or maybe I do this stuff a bit earlier on too. You know? And then paint some of this stuff on top. That would probably be a better way rather than doing all this painting and then sort of covering stuff up. But build up some texture and then sort of choose how heavy to paint on top of it. Have some spots that are like really opaque, you know, and covering it up. But then maybe some other spots that kind of don't cover it all up. That could be kind of cool. I ain't mad at it. So how's everyone's Tuesday? I didn't ask you guys. How y'all doing? Get clean, but that's just my opinion. I see what you're going for. This piece just screams haunting beauty. Thank you, Maddie. Yeah, I don't know what I'll do with the texture yet. I like the idea of maybe laying down texture first and then painting on top, you know? And if I lose the texture, I lose the texture, you know? But at least I would have the choice to kind of keep some of it if I wanted. Yeah, Maddie, that's exactly what I would do. So I would take the oils, thin them way down to the point where it's basically breaking up the pigment, right? And just like, yeah, I would get these watermarks and stuff. Hey, Steve Nigerian, how you doing, man? Getting ready for Origins Game Fair. Looking forward to a week where I don't have a convention. Oh, have you been doing a bunch of conventions? I gotta be honest, I don't do many conventions at all, but I kind of miss them a little bit. Even though, like, I really don't do a lot of conventions, like, by any stretch. Because I work full time, the convention circuit has never really been, like, a big part of what I do. I always enjoy them. The one I enjoyed the most was Lightbox, but that's mostly because it's like right in my backyard. I just thought it was kind of a dick move for them to not accept me back. especially when I saw some of the people that they did accept in. You know, I don't want to be judgy, but come on. Maddie, how would you even get this tattooed? Also, by the way, Joey the Saint, I agree. It probably was the fact that I had seen his stuff recently. You know, and then when I did, and I kind of did this and sort of felt like, oh shit, is it too close? And yeah, I don't know. I did end up ordering a print of that piece though, with the red background, because it's just so cool. And he was doing like this limited time, it's like timed thing, and I think it's printed like really high quality. So I was like, dude, I want that. By the way, I just got the piece with that gold leaf crescent moon. Just got it scanned. I just saw the scan today. It looks great. So hopefully I can figure out limited edition prints of that soon. I gotta prep the file though, and I gotta figure out the process for it, because I want that moon to be metallic in the prints, and I honestly don't have time to do hand embellished prints. That shit took a while. I was surprised. Like, it's not a complex shape, but there are complex silhouettes in there that just take time to like sit there and paint around and then do the gold leaf, and I don't have the time for that. And I think the time that it would take would just make the prints like stupid expensive, you know. Wow. Con every week since the beginning of September. Some weeks like this one, and next I have a con. I can also have people at my Ren Fair site. Oh. Wait, your Ren Fair site? Meaning, like, do you actually show at like your local Ren Fair? Or... Because how would you move a Ren Fair online? That would be so weird. You don't get to dress up and... Right on. Is it a local Ren Fair for you, or do you usually travel for it? Because I know there's some big Ren Fairs out there. Shadow Walk. But, I mean, you know the one that I'm talking about. Right, with the crescent moon. Right? You know. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, this piece. Right on, Steve. That sounds rad. I grew up going to the Ren Fair up in NorCal at the Black Oaks Ren Fair, which I think was the first one, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the first. The OG, but I don't remember. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, so I want to make limited edition prints of that. Just because, you know, to get it with the gold, and there are a couple different ways I can do it, and I need to see, and I need to see what looks the best, you know, because there are two options when you're doing something like that. You either do one that will look the most like the original as possible, you know, or you format it in a way where it just looks really nice as a print. to get it to look as close to the original as possible, I think I would have to hand embellish, and I would have to do that crescent moon by hand. But that it's a 16 by 22 inch drawing, right? So it's not small. And I want the print to be actual size. So, you know, I could print it on watercolor paper. There's even a local place that'll do a decal edge like the original has on the top and bottom. But then I would have to hand apply the gold leaf, and I feel like the print itself would become cost prohibitive, right? I'd have to charge like, I don't even know how much, $500 or $600 per print, right? If I was gonna do it that way, just because of the time it would take. Whereas the other option is that I can actually print on a gold foil cardstock, and basically they could print, and anywhere there's gold, they just don't print there, right? So that stuff gets masked out and knocked out. It would look a little more slick, right? Because that gold would be like smooth. And then even within that, there are a couple options where I can either keep the gold foil cardstock untouched, and it would be like almost a gold mirror finish, which would look pretty rad. I've seen prints like that, and they look fucking dope. Or they were saying what they could do is they can actually do a super thin film, like of white ink over the top of the gold, and it just kicks down the mirror finish. It still looks metallic, but has a sort of translucent vibe to it too, which I would have to see because I can't even really imagine what the hell that would look like. So I was like, yeah, we'd have to do some tests on this, because I don't know, like I can imagine quite a bit, and I just don't know what that would look like. So we'll see. Like I said, I just got it scanned, so at least now I have like a high res scan of it, because it wasn't working when I was trying to scan it in pieces at home. It just wasn't aligning, and it wasn't looking right. And then for whatever reason, each scan, the color was a little different, so then I'd end up with these 4 quadrants, and each one I'd have to like try and color correct, and I was like, dude, I don't have time for this shit. I've got too much work to do. Let's warp these guys. So my tendency, I have this natural tendency to just make things fairly anatomically accurate, right? Like I'm not good at warping and stylizing a whole bunch, but at least with Liquify we can do this after the fact, right? And get things feeling like weird and awkward, and then I have something to reference for when I actually do the painting. I like, that's kind of fun. But yeah. Yeah, Liquify helps a lot, I have to say. I used to be really against it, because I was like, no, repaint it, or paint it right the first time, or whatever, and whatever. That was the elitist in me coming out, and finally I was like, you know what, I don't have time, whatever. Let's just liquify that shit. I don't have to prove to myself that I can draw something. especially when you do get into stuff that's a little out of your comfort zone, you know? Like, if there are ways to make that a little easier, go for it. All right, so I'm just kind of trying to create some more sort of motion here, right? Fuck. See, I like the light behind her head, but I wonder if also let's not forget we don't want too much of that on top of her. Also, but we do want that, like the incense smoke, which I think would be cool if it was like lighter smoke, right? I think that'd be pretty rad. Sort of something else to kind of create a bit of a something that we can use to like direct the eye a little bit, right? Yo, is Twitch... now I've noticed on a couple of streams lately, have they just started automatically rolling ads at certain points? Because I noticed that on... I forget which stream. I was watching some live stream. I'm not... I wasn't subbed to it. And then they just, like, ran an ad. And, like, the person was in mid-sentence, so I know they didn't run it themselves. So an ad just rolled, and it just like put their stream like small up in the corner until the ad finished, and then it came back. And has anyone else experienced that? Maddie, you have a good night. Definitely get some sleep if you're feeling under the weather. Pop some vitamin C and go to sleep. That shit helps a lot. I kind of want to like really design this smoke, give it like a slight kind of Mooka vibe. I think that'd be sort of fun. Wait, so they ran it like you dropped in and you were able to like say hi and stuff, and then they ran an ad? That's weird. Normally it like runs right away if that's the case. Huh. Channel Point Redemption that runs an ad. Weird. I know, I've seen some where people pop onto someone's stream and they're like, "Yo, run an ad," and I'm like, really? Like, is that a thing where people want streamers to run ads? And if so, why? I don't understand that. It's real weird. Nobody likes ads. Right? I know, I feel like actually, no, I don't feel like I should run ads because, to be honest, I actually don't care about Twitch partnership on my side. And it's not like, it's not anything to do with the Twitch partnership. Like, I have nothing against that. It's more just obviously working full time than streaming enough to do it, to make partner on Twitch would just be an insane amount of work. And the fact that like half the stuff I do, for better or worse, whatever, has to be censored. And I don't want to always censor everything. Not to mention, stream is not always where I want to get stuff done. It takes longer, right? Because I'm chatting with you guys. So, I need a dark smoke color here. So it takes longer to get stuff done on stream, and because I do work full time, I have limited time. So things taking longer is not always what I want. Not always what I can afford either. But after a while, then I'm like, oh, I miss streaming. Yeah, thanks, Joey. The payout per ad is super tiny, Shadow. It's like not even worth mentioning. And I think that's a big complaint a lot of people have with Twitch, as opposed to like YouTube that has a larger payout for ads. And so it makes more sense. Plus, YouTube has more ways of monetizing as well than Twitch does. So, and I think that's one of the reasons you're seeing there are people bailing from Twitch and going over to YouTube, and some big streamers too, right? Tim Tapman, and a couple others, like people that had millions of followers on Twitch, bailed. And part of it was because YouTube offered them better incentives, and Twitch didn't make any effort to keep them and make them happy. Because Twitch is a little bit of the, stepchild of Amazon. They don't care about it too much. And I feel like Amazon doesn't go out of its way to like really do stuff for Twitch. I'm surprised that they went out of their way so much to deal with the music stuff. Like, I'm kind of shocked, because they really haven't shown much incentive in the past to do much of anything to keep their streamers happy. So I'm a little surprised, and I don't know why they did that. Especially because, like, sure, music's a big thing on Twitch, but not as big as gaming. You love the red smoke? Thank you. Yo, Autumn, what's up, dude? What's up, dude? How you doing? Yeah. What, you mean like the thing they just announced with Warner Brothers? Like, you can push them to your streams and vice versa. People watch long form videos. Top of that YouTube will push your stream to people who watch your actual content. Yeah. Yeah, but did you see the thing that they sent out today about like how they have some partnership with Warner Brothers or whatever? But then like, or they sent that out yesterday or something. But all that says to me is then like they'll bring on musicians that are signed with Warner Brothers, and then the people who are already on Twitch that have nothing to do with Warner Brothers like still don't get any benefit from it, right?
Alright, what are we singing about in this one? Give me a song topic suggestion. I need this.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's a sign that they're trying more, right? Because, like, I don't know. I don't know. I was going to say I've been unimpressed, but at the same time, I don't actually care that much. I care for my streamer friends who rely on, Twitch for a living and stuff like that. Obviously, I care for them. But I just know that a lot of the art that I want to make a living on, I can't fully stream it on Twitch anyway. Like this, Twitch, I'm talking to you. Twitch.
I want to redo this bass, dude.
Twat, did you say to me?
Everything's going like a hot dumpster. Excuse me. Getting mistaken for a famous person, that was kind of good. I like that. Comments on famous people that you're tired with.
Yeah, like Picardo doesn't have the fucking user base, Like you can get subs there, but you would really have to bring your own fan base, and they would have to be a pretty avid fan base. But the problem, like I love what Picardo is doing. The only thing is because they don't have the user base in general, it's not really like a place that I'm gonna just like hang out and watch streams, And then the couple of people that I've found that actually do art on there, that where I'm like, cool, like this is good stuff, and I would watch this. They're just not. They're not good streamers. Most of them say absolutely nothing. It'll be like mic off. Maybe they have music, maybe they don't. So then it's like, wow, okay, so what do I do here? And it's not like whatever. There are people here that do the mic off, but not always. Like there are streamers on Picardo that never have a mic on, and I'm just like, this is weird, And like you can ask questions in chat and they'll respond in chat, but I'm just like, okay, yeah, nope, nope. Nope. I mean, the best you could do is build up I don't know if it's the best, but one of the options would be building up a Patreon and then, doing some patron-only streams on Discord, where it's behind a paywall, so you could actually kind of get away with, streaming something like this uncensored. It's funny, the more I paint into this and just kind of create these shapes, the more I'm like, damn, I'm going to have to like try and paint this stuff up in oils at some point too. It's going to be hard. But if we only did this stuff because it was easy, it wouldn't be as much fun, I don't think. But it's just like, it's funny, right? Because some of those people that are shy are just streaming like the most like raunchy shit. It's like, huh. Or simply the fact that like, it obviously it takes some effort to talk and interact, and if they just want to focus on the art, of course doing no mic is a way to do that. In fact, I remember, Autumn, do you remember like when I first started streaming back in 2016? I don't think I had a mic. I would respond in chat. People would ask me questions in chat and I would respond in chat, and that was here on Twitch. It's weird for me to think about at this point, but that's what I did. But that wasn't from the standpoint of not wanting to talk. That was just, I didn't have the equipment. Part of me wants to like figure some of this stuff out more. Part of me is like, whatever, that's shit I could figure out in the oil. I don't really need to do it here, but we'll see. We will see. Yo, Willie, how's it going? How you been? Yeah, it was the first few streams. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. It was more just like, I want to share my process. Here's a good place to do it. This Twitch thing. Like, I don't know if anyone remembers, I think it was just called live stream. That was initially where I was going to do it, and then I forget why I didn't. Like, I think the setup or something there was like really kind of complicated, more complicated than it should be. Either that, or by the time I was looking to stream, it was kind of on the way out, I think.
I like how this sounds. This shit's so nice, dude.
Wow.
I did not fix the chair situation.
Oral exam switch to be done over Zoom. Huh.
The fix is in progress. It's gonna be fixed. No one worry.
That sucks. And they wouldn't let him do it with like the camera off or something. They're like, no, we have. Oh, I guess they have. Maybe they have to make sure that you're not cheating. Some shit. I have no idea what this thing is gonna look like exactly, but I don't have to, right? I mean, that's one of the things that I love with oils is that, you know, you don't have to figure out everything, because the interesting, as long as you can do interesting brushwork, right, which is a challenge in and of itself, but if you can pull it off, you can get away with a lot. You can get away with indicating shit, and it can look more interesting than if you were to actually just spell it all out, right? I feel like I'm probably gonna end up doing like some kind of, because, you know, it wouldn't be a Landerman without some dangly bits. There's no way to make that sound right, so I'm not gonna try. What are you gonna do? I technically wouldn't have to have that sensor, but I didn't want to take a chance. So the story in the piece in Codex Obscura, Codex Obscurus, sorry, so that's voice. voice. It's the reason he uses voice to text. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so in the Codex Obscurus piece, the idea, basic story is that a crone and her granddaughter are like fleeing through the woods, right? Being chased by ignorant, vicious men who think they're witches. I don't know why that just made me think of the scene in Beauty and the Beast when they're going to kill the beast, when Gaston decides that they have to do that. What's the line in the song there? We don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us. And this monster is mysterious at peace. I love that line. It's like, it's so awesome. But in a non-funny way, these ignorant men are chasing this like crone and her granddaughter through the woods, and the crone like remembers vaguely like some like a line from like that was used to scare her as a child to keep her from going too deep in the woods, and basically she's just hoping that maybe there's some truth in it, so they like flee deep into the woods to find the witching tree, right? And I mean, I did in flash fiction, so it's very truncated, but they find the tree, and the whole thing is like basically don't speak in front of the witching tree lest it should come to pass, right? So they find the tree, and I base it on a bristlecone pine, so it's just a small kind of gnarled tree and like kind of insignificant, but there are like 3 ravens sitting on it, and there are all these little bones hanging from it and stuff, and they like collapse at the foot of the witching tree, and they're bleeding, they're crying because like the crone had been like whipped and stuff, so she has like wounds on her back and all this shit, and their blood and their tears are basically like the sacrifice before the tree, and then the ignorant men are basically like crying out through the woods what they're gonna do to these 2 women when they get them. Well, the witching tree hears that, and she wakes up, right? And is basically like the soul of this long dead witch that had been tortured and all that stuff by the same kind of ignorant men. And so the image is her with the 2 women at her feet, and she has all the wounds still, or the scars from the things that she had suffered at the hands of the witch hunters. And basically she hears everything that they say they're gonna do to the women, and she basically visits that upon them. So they fuck themselves over. Good riddance. All that is to say, I took that same kind of idea, so that's why like she has that neck wound, from where she was hanged. She has wounds on her face. She has this wound across her belly. All this stuff. So it's not necessarily the same witch, because that one had red hair. Go figure. Though that came more from its super limited color, because it was actually a pencil drawing. It was not a fully painted piece. And I wanted to limit the colors. So, Sariana! Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I was lurking in your stream earlier, Sariana. I was just like, I was making dinner and setting up my stream and finishing work and all this stuff, but I was lurking. Thank you. Thank you. Willie, how did I start studying vehicles? Honestly, jumping into the fire. Dinner was great, Sariana. I made nachos, and they were delicious. How was your stream? How was your stream? Do you want to share what you were doing? We would like to see if you want to share. Also, Raiders, welcome. My name is Daniel Landerman. I am an illustrator and sketch artist in advertising. By day, my day job is doing key art for film, TV, and video games. Or helping to develop key art. Sometimes I illustrate it. Once in a while, it's my own concept, but usually it's a joint effort. So I help to create it. That's my day job. Outside of work, I never know how to even describe that. I do some stuff like this, some other kinds of things that maybe I can show some of here. Wait, hang on. Bear with me. Temporary blackout. We'll be back in a hot second. You know, I just don't feel like getting banned today. All right, we're back. All right, so stuff like this. I started transferring the drawing for this onto the panel. I went old school, grid technique for the transfer. Sometimes it's just easier that way. I don't know. That's the drawing. Another drawing. How many of these did I do? I think it was because I was running out of layers as I was doing stuff. So, stuff. This is all stuff. Well, not all of it. Some of it's stuff we've done on stream. Let's see. I want to see what you do. Nice. And I also saw you started a girl piece at one point. It's looking dope, though. Can you please play the replay of the piece? Wait, Willie, which one? The Dragon Storm? Replay that one? Dragon one. Let's see. I think so. I just don't know how much of the process is in this particular file, so let's find out. Twitch, don't ban me, because I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, we have the whole file. Look at that. First thing I did, pulled the sensor in, but that's going to disappear at a certain point. Plus, I got to speed through this, otherwise this is going to be way too long. So let's just look. Let's look. I had drawn her and brought her into this file. Obviously, I drew these guys too. I brought them in from another file because I decided to make it more widescreen than it was. Originally, it was a little more square format, and I wanted some more room for those dragons because she was all centered in the other one, and I didn't want that. I wanted them kicked off to the side a bit more. We did all this stuff on stream. Line art. Woo! And then we got into just like getting into some color. I know some of the values I started to fine tune off stream. I apologize. I don't apologize actually if that sensor goes away. No one cares. Like, you can't even really see anything. Whatever. Anyway, so fine tune them, which I still need to do. I need to bring in a bit more lighting into the girls there. Yeah. So my idea with this one is that those gold areas also would be gold leaf, which I think would just look super dope. We'll see. We'll see. Ah, thanks, Willie. Yeah, I really like that one. So that's one of the reasons that I am. By the way, I also still want to get this one painted. I had done this originally to do an oil painting from it. I still want to paint this one at some point, eventually. We'll see. So I'm developing this one so that I can paint this and Dragonstorm in tandem, because I'm gonna have to wait for them to dry at certain points. So I see your redeem, Joey, and let's see. She was just out here. So I don't feel bad bothering her. It's so time to be kidding, isn't it? Oh, all right. Let's see what this little girl's doing. She's being feisty today. She is being feisty today. What? Kitten. Look, they want to say hi. Say hi. She is not amused. You. Let's see here. Wow. Over there. I don't know how much of this you guys will actually be able to see. But so this is the drawing for this piece. Is that banding? What's that weird banding on it? It looks like Venetian blinds are casting shadows. That's so weird. Anyway, yeah, it's I just went old school with the grid. 2 by 3 feet. 2 by 3 feet. I did look at it, Autumn. I did. Joey, that's awesome. Oh, also, friends. Go follow our raider. If you don't follow Sariana already, y'all are crazy. And you should. Want to get little few hotter highlights. Dan, do we want to like add? I mean, we kind of have it a little bit already there, right? Almost what looks like red smoke coming out of the incense thing. And I don't know if that's what you were talking about, Shadowwalk. But we could potentially add some red smoke into that. It could be kind of cool, right? I have to say, even though I haven't been doing a ton of oil painting, right? The bit that I have been doing has helped so much that initially when I was streaming again and I decided like I want to get back into oils because I hadn't done them in a while. If I'd done something like this, I would have been pretty intimidated to even consider painting this up in oils. It doesn't intimidate me now. I know it'll be a lot of work, but I also feel like I can do it, whereas before it would have, it would have kind of freaked me out a bit. But I'm okay with it now. Oh, Autumn. What am I gonna do with you? Base. One of the things I like when I get to this stage is that I can start to kind of choose to like cut out shapes and things, and I don't know, there's something so satisfying about that like just results in such a better trying to find a better word than result. Results in such a better result than like painting out on the shapes, right? If we can like cut back in, do not underestimate the power of cutting into shapes. The results of the results will be better. Thank you for that, Hydrate. I think Denna took that Hydrate to heart too. She's hydrating as well. Now we're getting into some kind of fine-tuning stuff, like pushing and pulling some values here and there to kind of get stuff going in the same way. But now all our faces are on the right-hand side, so we got to do something about that, right? We got to kind of start to... One, I need a bit more motion in these things than what I've got. They're pretty straight up and down still, so... I think is fine for some of them, but we got to get more of these. You know what I'm gonna do? First of all, let's do this. I don't need you. Oops. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. All right, hang on, guys. Temporary blackout. No one freak out. We're still here. We are still here. Copy canvas. Paste canvas. I want this all in one layer so I can push and pull shit around. All right, we're back. We're back, safe and censored. Yes, Autumn, we need to get the rhythm of the rhythm going. All right. We'll say it again. If you guys don't follow Ari at home, he is entertaining and he is amazing. Some people's brains just work a little different, I think. All right, I want to get some stuff like on the left-hand side here. So one of the things that Ari will do is call for topics from the chat, right? And so chat will give him topics to freestyle about, and he'll just like go off. It's crazy. And then other times he'll just start going on his own, but then he'll have chat like put words in the chat that he'll rhyme, and it's pretty wild what he's able to do, I have to say. I think I want to get the smoke a little darker, right? Because I wanted the incense smoke to be lighter in comparison, but it's starting to get a little too close. So We gotta adjust. I'll probably bring some overlay and stuff into this at some point to kind of start to fine tune some of those values more. We'll see. Little by little, right? Then the other thing is, do I fucking want to play with the perspective? Meaning, like, do I want to get these guys, if I get some faces and shit up front, do I want them to be bigger? Or maybe various sizes. I guess they're kind of various sizes, right? So some, you can get some that are definitely bigger. Yeah, I like the idea that maybe here they're a little, maybe less formed, let's say. And then maybe they become a bit more substantial in some way. Because I might sneak in some body, like, aspects somewhere in here. I just don't want to go too heavy into that in case I, without thinking, draw a nipple. The dreaded nipple. Can't have that. Your favorite pick and mix candy? I don't even know what that is. Is that a Viking thing? Right, Sariana? The dreaded indicated ellipse. Whatever will we do? All right. All right. Filthy ellipses. sometimes with this stuff, it's tempting to kind of bring in some kind of like glow and stuff in there, but then I start to wonder, like, okay, do I, it can look really cool in digital stuff, but it doesn't always look that cool in traditional, like when you're playing with actual light. I mean, like for instance, that glowing strip down the center of her, like I know that'll look cool because it'll be moon gold leaf in the final, and that'll look super rad. But if I were to paint it like this, like what it is right now, I don't think it'd look that cool. It looks fine in the digital painting because, it's actual light and it is glowing.
Stop trying to sell drugs to each other in my fucking chat, bro. We're gonna get kicked off here so fast, dude.
That being said, I have seen paintings that seriously looked like they were glowing because the luminosity was just so on point. I have some confidence in my skills, but not that much confidence. Pickett makes in England because what Robert Sheehan's character was arrested for stealing. Basically a wall of different candies, and you use a scoop to get the ones. Oh, okay, yeah. No, they have stuff like that here. I kind of have a feeling they probably don't have that anymore with COVID and stuff. I know they like locked down a lot of the bulk, the bulk bins. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have things like that anymore. It's got to be all pre-packaged and shit. Oh, that's weird. Why did that not? I don't like it when I grab a color and it doesn't grab at the color. Okay. Yeah, I was outlawed here for a bit where I knew contact contagion isn't really a thing with COVID. Wait, contagion? That's not the right word. Is it not? Contact contagion? It sounds right. Is that not the right word? I understand what you mean in any case. Contact infection. But also that's where some of the European countries are way further along with that shit because they don't have the same agenda that the US government has. And not all those other governments are in the pockets of the pharmaceutical companies. U.S. government has been in the pockets of the pharmaceuticals for like 100 years. So I don't see that shit changing anytime soon. Especially not with good old Joe. But we won't get political. It's funny because, like, you know, I'll say I'm a liberal. Like, whatever. I'm cool with that. And there are certain areas with politics where I'm like, yeah, liberals. And then, but when it comes to medicine, I don't fucking trust anybody in government. Not a damn one of them. But, you know, I grew up, like, with kind of seeing the ugly side of the institutions, you know, with my dad being a biological dentist and constantly in legal battles with the American Dental Association because they wanted him to do shit that was really unhealthy for people and he refused to do it, and so they would just pull his license, and then he'd have to sue the shit out of him, and sometimes he would win and sometimes he wouldn't, and you know, just the really fucked up stuff they did, all based around the patents that they have. You know, it's all money. It's not like they're like, this is better for the human race. It wasn't that. It was $50 billion a year that in patents that was like made them just make their decisions. So holy crap, 11 hours. That's no fun. But isn't it kind of I say that I pre-lockdown, right? I was at work for 10 hours a day. 5 days a week. And then almost 2 hours of driving. I don't miss that. I do not miss that. That being said, I like where this is going. We might have to get a little... Man, do we want to get some, like, heat in some of that red? Or orange? Fuck. Maybe. We might. I think we might. We're gonna have to try that. But let's give us a another layer before we do that. I was thinking, like, darker, a little hotter. Because everything is so muted that I'm wondering, I feel like we could get away with it and it might help to kind of, like, one, give me some darker stuff to play with in there, but two, maybe it'll help things pop in different ways.
I'm starting to wonder.
Right?
Does alcohol make me better music?
Okay, so for whatever reason, and I think is with iOS 15, with the update, it changed the sound that Slack makes, and it gave it just the standard notification. I even went into my phone and specified the previous sound that Slack made, because I had it on my phone where Slack had its own notification sound, so I knew when it was a Slack. Now it sounds like every other notification, so I keep looking, and then it's like, I don't care. It's like, I don't need this. All right, do we want something like this. Maybe that's too much. Maybe we just get it in parts, but I kind of like it. I kind of, with the darker, it's nice because it doesn't kick all that stuff way back into the deep background, right? But adds an interesting kind of depth. But this is what I was talking about, where I'm hesitant to like get into stuff that starts to get into like any kind of glow. But this isn't a glow, but it, with the saturation, it kind of like fucks with things. It's kind of cool. And we get saturation into. Do we want to do that? Fuck. It's looking kind of cool. I'm kind of okay with it. Getting rid of some of those darks. And the fun thing is, I wouldn't even need an actual red for anything in this painting. I can do all of this with, so far, I would probably need a blue for the little flowers there. Maybe. Let's see. Probably. Yeah. I think I would need an actual blue for that. But everything else, I mean, I could do with what, 3 colors, maybe? Knowing that strip down the middle would be gold leaf, not like painted yellow, so I don't need an actual yellow. But I think I could do this whole painting with 4 colors. I think. Transparent red iron oxide, titanium white, olive green, and some kind of blue. I could do cobalt or ultramarine. I'd probably do ultramarine because it's transparent. Cobalt is not transparent. And that's kind of fun looking at this. I mean, that's pretty saturated, but I think transparent red iron oxide would get me there. It is possible that I would need Indian yellow. Maybe. 4 colors, maybe 5. % vaccinated now, so not a single restriction on anything. It prompted American CDC to classify Norway as high risk. Of course they did. Of course it's high risk, because they're probably not doing things the same way. We won't talk about the fact that we have the CDC to thank for all this shit in the first place. So maybe they shouldn't be the fucking experts on the subject. Stop that gain of function research shit. Thanks, CDC. Right? It's just that classic, what happens if we do this? Oh, whoops. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. Dipshits. I like the angle of the screen left hand more. The other one is turned, like the one holding the skull is turned toward the outside a little too much for me. So we're gonna adjust that. Let's adjust that shit. Let's adjust that shit. I've seen Misfits. It's really worth a watch. I have not watched Misfits. Which one is that? I know I haven't watched it. I'm just trying to think of what it's about. Shit, I didn't. There we go. I clearly don't care that much about rendering the hands right now. It's so funny, like hands, obviously, like they take some commitment. You know, there's as much detail in the hands as there are in the face, as there is in the face. As many details as there are in the face, or as much detail as there is in the face. Let's talk good. So, you know, picking battles. And I love rendering hands when it's called for. In this instance, I don't really need to do that. I might later, though. It's possible. Just to like give myself more to work with the actual oils, but for now I'm fine indicating that shit. Though it would be easier to indicate if I had direct reference. Right. Instead I gotta kind of like paint around and find it. Oh well. Oh well. Whoops. It's cool. I'm digging it. Let's play around with overlay or soft light. Soft light doesn't go as extreme, so that might be better. But yeah, let's try it. Let's try overlay first. It's just a nice way to kind of mess around with fine tuning some values, right? So just making that incense smoke a little bit lighter. And I'll do this with literally just switching between black and white, you know. You don't want to go too hard because you can get really dark with it really fast, but it can be a nice way, like, I just want to add a bit of volume to the smoke and stuff. So, juvenile delinquents get superpowers during a weird storm, but it takes place in England. The fucking rocket scientist girl, yes, that shows on. Okay. Misfits. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to. Alright, well, let me look. Let me look at that link, because. Okay, I recognize the key art. Oh, is that? Wait. Yeah, that's Ramsey Bolton in there. Well, I like British shows. Not every single one, because sometimes I go into them thinking like, it's British, it'll be awesome, and then I'm like, holy crap, they make really bad TV sometimes too. Cool. But overall, I have watched a lot of British shows, so cool. I have Hulu, but does it stream on Hulu in the US? That's always the question. Right.
Guys, I'm a little smacked at the moment. Is this whiskey gonna settle, or like, what's gonna go on?
I feel like a lot of the streaming stuff is actually better in other countries than it is in the US. Which is silly because a lot of the streaming companies are based in the US, but because of different like laws, copyright laws and shit. I've just noticed that when we travel, Netflix is like so much better in other countries. Like they have all the cool shit. And in the US, Netflix is kind of lame.
I feel old on this campus with all these young. I don't feel old in my life. I feel very young. I'm not old.
That's cool. Cool. I'm digging it. I'm digging where it's going. A little fine-tuny. I don't know if I want to make that any darker. I don't think so. I don't hate it, but no. No. What about lighter? Maybe. I don't hate that either. Only reason is because then it gives me just a little more room to play with in other areas where I can get a little bit brighter in spots and not have it compete with what's in the back, right? Cool. I'll check it out. I need another show to watch. Since season 2 of The Witcher isn't out yet. But then part of me, of course, wants to like just blow out her skin. Which I could do because I know in real life that gold would become almost a darker streak in the center. Unless light catches it and then it would like flare up. Options, options, options. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, can someone get T-Pain in here for real though? Just get him in, just while I'm drunk as fuck. I just wanna
We blow out that incense smoke a bit more.
Alright, okay, here we go. Best song ever. We're making the best songs tonight, dude.
Well, either way, I like where this is going, so I feel like I'm kind of okay with whatever whatever I settle on. Cause, you know, there's a good chance some of this shit is gonna change in the oil painting. You know, especially when we start dealing with organic shapes and stuff. Thank you for that stretch and posture check. I will stretch. In fact, I will get up and stretch those hammies out. Oh man. My posture check. Let's raise this up a little bit. So we don't have to look down as much. I'm glad I adjusted the color because it looks like on stream it looks accurate now. So that's cool. I might do like, can we get, I don't even know how many more layers we can get on this. How many layers we got? Oh shit, we got plenty. Got 21 more layers we can do on this shit. I don't know what we would do with 21 more layers, but whatever. I want it's like a little more, feels more powerful if you have that stuff extending out more from the shoulders, I feel. So I want that. I want that. This is something where, I mean, this stuff will get really small in the painting. And some of I may end up adjusting the size of some of this stuff, but I'll have to kind of see because I have a custom linen panel coming. So, because this is kind of an odd size, 18 by 28 inches. So, I'll have to see when I get that panel. Like, I'll have to see how it feels in terms of if the figure is a certain size. And I can kind of see with the panel that I have here, especially with the grid, I can see what that size would be. 3, 6, 9 by 28. Yeah, I feel like this stuff is a good size. But some of these details might get really small. I'm not sure. But I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. All right. Well, I don't really know what else I would do on this right now. I'm kind of digging where it's at. And I think if nothing else, I'll have to like kind of sit on it and see how I feel tomorrow. So I think we might think about raiding someone. Raid. Who's on? Who is on? We've got Grim. I haven't seen that guy for a while. Of course, Steve Nigerian, who was hanging out earlier. He's on. Let's let these ads go. Stupid ads. We could raid Ross Draws, which we're not going to do. Even though it would be kind of funny. Grim doing sexy stuff as always. Steve Nigerian doing some good old dragon work. Let's raid Steve. He does some cool shit. All right, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna raid Steve. If I can find my keyboard here. Steve Nigerian Art. Yeah, Steve is good people. So we're gonna raid him. Pop in, say hi, show him some love. Good dude. Yeah, dragons, always dragons. So I think I will be back on Saturday. I don't know exactly what time, but I will try and let y'all know in the Discord. Once I know, I just don't know if it'll be in the morning or if it'll be afternoon. It might be right after lunch is my guess on Saturday. So like maybe 1 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday. Don't hold me to that, but tentatively that's the plan. I'll do my best. All right, my friends, we're going to raid. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you for the input. Super appreciate it. And I will see y'all on Saturday. All right, my friends, y'all have a good week. Peace.